Hi, trauma healers. I want you to ask yourself, could the food that I'm eating be contributing to anxiety and depression? And I hate to break it to you, but the answer is an unequivocal yes. And I know that diet and what to eat is a very controversial topic. I want to avoid the diet wars here. I'm not going to argue the benefits of vegan versus paleo versus keto versus high fat, low fat, etc. I just want to talk to you about general principles in how to eat healthy and also how to avoid junk food that could make it much harder for you to process, heal, and release your trauma because the food itself will make you feel bad. And so think about it. Let's say you eat 3 donuts in the middle of the day, and the donuts are obviously delicious. And I personally have a huge weakness for Krispy Kreme donuts, especially hot off the line. So I'm not saying I don't ever partake. Hot off the line, it just melts in your mouth. It's delicious. Here's the issue though. You're enjoying the donuts for 5 or 10 minutes. They taste amazing. How do you feel an hour later? Be honest with yourself. Do you feel motivated? Do you feel wide awake? Or do you feel the opposite? Do you feel sluggish? Do you feel tired? Do you start to maybe feel a little bit down? Sometimes even anxious. And if you do, it makes perfect sense. Here's why. Because when you eat something like a donut or a Twinkie or candy, what happens is you have a huge insulin spike. And especially drinks like sodas that are made with high fructose corn syrup or any type of processed junk food that's made with high fructose corn syrup causes massive spikes in your insulin. And guess what happens? After the spike, there's a crash. And that crash can make you feel tired, depressed, and anxious. And processed foods altogether are not good for you either. Processed means it's basically in a box and it's got a bunch of ingredients that you can barely pronounce. And just so you know, all of those weird little words that you can't even figure out what they are, it's like elements from the periodic table in chemistry, those are mostly derivatives of ammonia and formaldehyde. That's right, formaldehyde, embalming fluid. Call me crazy, I don't want to be embalmed until I'm dead. And so, the common argument is with these foods is, oh, well, if you eat them for a couple of months, no negative health effects, no psychological effects. First off, that's not true as far as the psychological effects for the reasons I described before. Because again, if you get insulin spikes, you're also going to have the crash. And that's very bad for somebody dealing with anxiety or depression challenges and trying to overcome trauma as it is. But also keep in mind that over time, those foods are very, very harmful to your physical health over years. So just like smoking cigarettes for a couple of months won't do anything to you. If you smoke cigarettes for years, you're increasing your chances of all kinds of terrible maladies. So, but again here, the focus is on how these processed, high sugar, high corn syrup, processed foods really, really affect your mood. So the recommendation here is avoid processed foods like the plague. And if it is not ingredients that your great grandmother would have been aware of, it's processed. If it's in a box, 9 times out of 10, it's processed. So like I said before, not going to get into the diet wars. I personally have a paleo diet, but mainly whole plant foods. And that's what I recommend, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, paleo, keto, what have you. Always make sure to have real whole foods organic. And the reason to get organic is not because the foods will have more vitamins and minerals. That's not the reason. The reason why you want to get organic is to avoid pesticides and herbicides. Because guess what? Those toxins can negatively affect your mood as well. And it's hard enough as it is to do the work to heal, process, and release your trauma. Don't make it harder on yourself by consuming junk that'll make you feel like shit. And I'm not, I know it's difficult to change eating habits. So what I would advise you, if you want to improve your diet, is just start small. And one of the things that you can do is when you go to the store, just stop buying the processed foods. Because if it's not in your pantry, if it's not in your house, it's a lot easier to have the willpower not to eat that kind of stuff. And just slowly replace snacks with things that are natural and real and organic. Like, instead of having a candy bar, have an apple. Instead of having a donut, have some strawberries and some blueberries. And the reason why that is helpful is because fruits, unlike processed foods, even though fruit has sugar, the way your body processes it doesn't cause these massive insulin spikes and crashes, because although berries have sugar, they have less sugar than a donut. And also that sugar is mixed with fiber and with water. And so your body is able to process that kind of food without the major insulin spikes. So stop buying the processed foods. Don't have them in your house. And for snacks, like I said, real natural food, fruits or vegetables. You can have carrot sticks, celery, whatever vegetable you like. And the way you can make the vegetables more tasty is salt, oil, vinegar, lemon, all that's fine in moderation. And just give it a shot. I bet you over time that you'll see, as you stop eating the processed frankenfood, start eating real, healthy, organic food, you're gonna see a big difference in elevation of your mood and avoiding the roller coaster caused by high sugar processed foods. And just be compassionate with yourself. Make the commitment to eat healthier for your own emotional and physical well-being, but at the same time, understand that none of us are perfect. You might have days where you fall off the wagon and eat something that's not healthy. Don't beat yourself up. Just recommit and start again the next day. And like I said, start slowly. Basically, every week, replace 2 bad things you're eating with 2 good things that you like to eat. It's got to be something that you like, because if you don't like it, you're not going to be able to stick to any dietary change. And you'll see over time, as you do this, all the bad stuff that you eat will be gone, and then you'll mainly be eating good, healthy food. And you don't need to be 100% perfect. If there's a special event and you want to have a scrumptious dessert, that's fine. But just the mistake that most of us make is we're eating this garbage every day, all day long, multiple times a day. And again, it's negatively impacting your emotional state, and you don't want to make it harder on yourself to heal, because processing trauma is challenging as it is. Why make it harder on yourself? So give my recommendations a shot. I want you to be healthy and happy. And until next time, love you all.